Welcome back, students. In the last lecture, we have had a brief overview of the .NET, its framework, the components of its framework, the features, and we also discussed some advantages and disadvantages. So in today's lecture, we will talk through keywords, identifiers, and data types. These are important topics that we need to cover before we start discussing variables. And at the end of this session, we will also be doing a simple program to demonstrate the use of these various concepts that we discussed today. So keywords. So a keyword is a reserved word with special meanings in the compiler whose meaning cannot be changed. Therefore, these keywords cannot be used as an identifier in VB.NET programming such as class name, variable, function, module, etc. So a keyword is a fixed word. You have to think of them as a fixed word that can be only used for its specific purpose. So you cannot name an object that you create with the keywords that are reserved by the compiler. So the following table lists the VB.NET reserved keywords. So this in the following couple of slides we will be seeing the list of reserved keywords that are used by the compiler. So these are the keywords, as you can see: add handler, address of, alias, and also as, etc., etc. So all these terms that you see on this screen, as well as in the next screen here, so all these terms that you see, these are all keywords that are used by the compilers. So if you want to create something, if you want to create your own variable or a function, you cannot name those variables or functions with these keywords. You can make use of these keywords to create to perform some operations, but you cannot create your own variables with the same name as these keywords, because these keywords are reserved. And please keep in mind that this is a long list of keywords. I think there are almost 150 entries here. So you have to remember them all, because these are very frequently asked in multiple choice questions. Means you will be asked to identify which one is a keyword or which one is not a keyword, like that. So this is a very frequently asked topic, so you have to remember all the keywords here. Next the next topic we have is identifiers. So an identifier is a name used to identify a class, variable, function, or any other user defined term. So an identifier is the name given to a variable, function, class, or any other defined term. So generally identifiers are meaningful names. So these are generally meaningful names. So there are some set of rules for naming these identifiers. So the basic rules for identifiers in VB.NET are as follows. First is, the first character of an identifier must start with an alphabet or underscore that could be followed by any sequence of digits, letter, or underscore. So when you are naming an identifier, you must always start with an alphabet or an underscore. You cannot start name an identifier with starting with a number. So this is the first point. Second point is, an identifier should not contain any reserved keyword, as we have discussed in the previous topic. So keywords are reserved for by the compiler, so you cannot use the exact same keyword as an identifier name. Third point, it should not start with any digits. Fourth point, it should not be more than 51 characters. Fifth point, an identifier can contain 2 underscores but should not be consecutive. Okay, so you can have 2 underscores, but they cannot be used one after the other consecutively. Next, it should not include any commas or white spaces in between characters. So if you are giving a name to the identifier, so you should make sure that there are no commas or white spaces. White spaces means single space. The Microsoft naming conventions suggest using camel notation, that is In camel notation, you have initial lowercase and then the uppercase. For example, if you have a literal name, the name of the literal is student name. Okay. For example, you are creating a field known as student name. So in that case, when you are naming your variables, you can have the initial character as small letter student, then the next part of the name student name, the end part is capital. So this is known as camel notation. And then this is for variable names. And Pascal notation, in Pascal notation for method names. So Pascal notation will be initial uppercase, and others are also other keys words are also uppercase. So calculate student grade. So C, S and G here, they are all uppercase. Some valid identifiers are, this is not a by the way, this naming convention is not a mandatory thing to follow, but this is a convention. This is not a mandatory thing to be followed. The compiler will not give you error if you use full capital letters or full small letters for your variables, but this is a convention that is followed. So some valid identifiers are value, a, rec1, my underscore data, marks, num, student age, etc. And some invalid identifiers are 5be. Why is this invalid? It is because the first character should be alphabet or underscore. Here in this case the first character is a number. That's why this identifier is invalid. Class, comma, shared. This class shared. This is invalid because they are keywords. Keywords are not allowed as identifier name. As you can see from the keywords section, class you can find here. So you can see that this keyword class here is used here. In the same way, you have shared keyword somewhere here. So you have shared keyword here. So these both keywords cannot be used as variable names. So these are invalid identifier names. A hash. Okay. This identifier should not contain any special symbol. So hash is considered as a special symbol. So this is not a valid identifier. And lastly, avg space marks. So identifiers should not contain any blank spaces or white spaces. Next we come to data types. So in VB.NET, data type is used to define the type of a variable or function in a program. So it is used to define what type of variable or function is being used in the program. So a data type refers to which type of data or value is assigned to a variable or function so that the variable or function can hold a defined data type value. For example, when we declare a variable, we have to tell the compiler what type of data or value is allocated to different kinds of variables to hold different amounts of space in computer memory. For example, let's see the syntax first. So in this syntax we are also making use of the dim statement. So dim statement, this is a keyword again. Dim variable name is as data type. So we make use of two keywords here, dim and as, and these two are literals, variable name and data type. So where variable name defines the name of the variable that you assign to store values, and data type represents the name of the data type that you assign to a variable. So we'll see this in an example program after in a short while. So now let's have a look at the list of data types that are present in VB.NET. So these are the list of data types. First you have a boolean. Okay, the storage allocation can it varies depending on the platform. Okay, a boolean variable can either be true or false. So it can either be true or false. Next data type is byte, which holds 1 byte of memory. and its value is 0 through 255. So all the positive numbers till 255 and 0 can be represented by a single byte. For char data type, it holds 2 bytes, so it can hold values from 0 to 65535. Similarly, you have date data types which holds 8 bytes and has this range, and decimal data type which has 16 bytes with this range. Next we have double data type with 8 bytes taking up this range. Then you have integer data type with 4 bytes which can have this range, long data type of 8 bytes having this range, object data type of 4 bytes on 32-bit platform or 8 bytes on 64-bit platform, S byte which takes up 1 byte of in the memory, and it can hold values from -128 through 127. Short data type which has 2 bytes in memory which has this range. Single data type which has 4 bytes of storage and has this range. String data type, again the allocation depends on the implementing platform, and it can hold 0 up to approximately 2 billion Unicode characters. U integer, that is U is unsigned integer, 4 bytes with this range. Unsigned long or U long, 8 bytes with this range. User defined, depends on implementing platform, with this range. And unsigned short or U short with 2 bytes with this range. So we have different kinds of data types as we have seen in this table. So now let's have a look at a simple program which makes use of the different data types and then gives out an output. So what we are doing is, first of all, we have a module. Inside the module we have the main function. So inside this function, this statement, this is what is known as a comment. This line is known as a comment. Because this comment is just a simple descriptive line to show what you are trying to do. The compiler does not compile this, so you can type or write anything here. So it starts with a comment here. Then now we make use of the dim statement. So in this case, dim b as byte. So what we are doing here is, in this statement you are declaring a variable name as b. Okay, the name of the variable name is b. If you go back here, dim variable name as data type, you look at the syntax here, dim variable name as data type. So variable name will be the name of the variable and data type will be the name of the data type. So here when you are using this statement dim b as byte, so b will be the name of the variable and its data type will be byte. That means b will be storing 1 byte of memory. That means it can hold values from 0 to 255. Next we create another variable dim num as integer. Same way, dim si as single, dim db as double, dim get date. This is a variable name, so a variable name can have underscores here. As date, date is a data type. As we have seen here, date is also a data type. Dim c as char, dim str as string. So first of all, we declared all these variables. Now we are going to initialize all these variables to their values. So first of all, we have stored the value of 1 into b. Okay, so b equal to 1 means the value of b will be equal to 1 now. Next we have initialized or stored the value of 20 into num. So num equal to 20 means then whenever the variable num is called, the value 20 will be value 20 will be used. Same way we have also initialized the values for stored the values for the other variables, that is si, db, get date, c and str. So after this, what we are doing is we are printing out the output. First, in the first line we are printing out, we are typing data type demo, because this is a program for making use of the different data types. So, and in the second line we type byte is within parenthesis 0. Okay, byte is 0, so comma b. So this implies that this will take the first argument after the 0, implies that it will take the first argument after the end of this comma. So b, the value of b is what? The value of b is currently 1. So when you run this program, the output will be like this. The output will be byte is 1. Okay, because the value of b will be substituted by this. Next we have integer number is this. So instead of this we are going to print num. So what is the value of num? The value of num is 20. So 20 will be printed here in the output. Integer number is 20. In that same way, single data number, double data number, today is character, string message, these are all printed, and then we get this output. So let us open a new console, new project, and then try out this program. First I will copy this. Okay, now what I'll do is I will open a new project. I will use the .NET framework console app, and let's name it as data type demo. Okay, and then I click on create. So we have the project. So module this sub main. So inside the main function, so I have these statements. Okay, so first this is a comment will appear as green on your screen, and these are the following statements. So these are the initialization statements, dim, and then you are, after that you are storing the values here. B equal to 1, num equal to 20, si equal to this, db equal to this, get date equal to today, and then we'll copy the remaining parts of the code here from here. Okay, so c equal to a, str equal to vb.net, and then console.writeline all these messages. Okay, after that you just save it. After saving it, build the solution. Build has started here. Wait for it to finish. Okay, build has succeeded here. So you can see the message build has succeeded. Now you can simply click on the start here, and then this is the output. So byte is 1, integer number is 20, single data number is this, double data number is this, today is this, character is this, string message is this. Okay, so you can change the values in any way you want. You can give assign it as 10, number as 2020, and then build it again, and then run it again. So you can see that the values have changed here as you have updated. So this is the topic that we have. These are the topics that we have discussed today. We have discussed keywords, identifiers, and data types. So in the next lecture, we will discuss variables and then go ahead with the syllabus. If you have any doubts, please feel free to contact me.